Chapter 12. Humility and Exaltation. He who humbles himself will be exalted. Luke 14:11. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he will lift you up. James 4:10. Therefore humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. 1 Peter 5:6. Just yesterday I was asked the question, how am I to conquer this pride? The answer was simple. Two things are needed. Do what God says in your work. Humble yourself. Trust him to do what he says in his work. He will exalt you. The command is clear. Humble yourself. This does not mean that it is your work to conquer and cast out the pride of your nature and to form within yourself a lowliness of the holy Jesus. This is God's work, the very essence of the exaltation in which he lifts you up into the real likeness of the beloved Son. What the command does mean is this: take every opportunity of humbling yourself before God and man. Humble yourself and stand persistently, notwithstanding all failure and falling, under this unchanging command. Do this with faith in the grace that it is already working in you, and in the assurance that more grace will be available for the victory that is coming. Look to the light that conscience flashes on the pride of the heart and its workings. Accept with gratitude everything that God allows from within or without, from friend or enemy, in nature or in grace, to remind you of your need of humbling and to help you to it. Believe humility to indeed be the highest virtue, your very first duty before God, and the one perpetual safeguard of the soul. Set your heart upon it as the source of all blessing. The promise is divine and sure. He who humbles himself will be exalted. See that you do the one thing God asks. Humble yourself. God will see that he does the one thing he has promised. He will give more grace. He will exalt you in due time. All God's dealings with man are characterized by two stages. There is the time of preparation when command and promise, with the mingled experience of effort and inability, of failure and partial success, with the holy expectancy of something better that these awaken, train and discipline men for a higher stage. Then comes the time of fulfillment, when faith inherits the promise and enjoys what it had so often struggled for in vain. This law holds good in every part of the Christian life and in the pursuit of every separate virtue. This is because it is grounded in the very nature of things. In all that conquers our redemption, God must take the initiative. When that has been done, man's turn comes. In the effort toward obedience and attainment, he must learn to know his weakness. In self-despair, he must learn to die to himself, and so be voluntarily and intelligently equipped to receive the promise from God. The Father will complete what man had accepted at the beginning in ignorance. So God, who had been the beginning before man rightly knew him or fully understood what his purpose was, is longed for and welcomed as the end, as the all in all. It is the same in the pursuit of humility. To every Christian, the command comes from the throne of God himself. Humble yourself. The earnest attempt to listen and obey will be rewarded. Yes, rewarded with the painful discovery of two things. The one is the depth of pride, unwillingness to consider oneself and to be considered nothing, to submit absolutely to God that existed, that none never knew. The other is what utter weakness there is in all our efforts, and also in all our prayers for God's help to destroy the hideous monster. Blessed is the man who now learns to put his hope in God and to persevere, notwithstanding all the power of pride within him, in acts of humility before God and men. We know the law of human nature. Acts produce habits. Habits breed dispositions. Dispositions form the will, and the rightly formed will is character. It is not any different in the work of grace. As actions, persistently repeated, beget habits and dispositions, and these strengthen the will. He who works both to will and to do comes with his mighty power and spirit. Philippians 2:13. The humbling of the proud heart with which the penitent saint casts himself so often before God is rewarded with the quote-unquote more grace of the humble heart, in which the Spirit of Jesus has conquered and brought the new nature to its maturity. In this heart, he, the meek and lowly one, now dwells forever. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he will lift you up. He will exalt you. And of what does this exaltation consist? The highest glory of man is in being only a vessel, to receive and enjoy and show forth the glory of God. Man can do this only as he is willing to be nothing in himself, so that God may be all. Water always fills the lowest places. The lower, the emptier a man lies before God, the speedier and the fuller the inflow of the divine glory will be. The exaltation God promises is not, cannot be, any external thing apart from himself. All that he has to give or can give is only more of himself, to take more complete possession. The exaltation is not, like an earthly prize, something arbitrary, and no necessary connection with the conduct to be rewarded. It is in the very nature of the effect and result of the humbling of ourselves. It is nothing but the gift of a divine indwelling humility, a conformity to and possession of the humility of a Lamb of God, which equips us for fully receiving the indwelling of God. He who humbles himself will be exalted. Jesus himself is the proof of the truth of these words. He is the pledge of the certainty of their fulfillment to us. Let us take his yoke upon us and learn from him, for he is meek and lowly of heart. Matthew 11:29. If we are willing to stoop to him, as he has stooped to us, he will yet stoop to each one of us again, and we will find ourselves equally yoked with him. As we enter deeper into the fellowship of his humility, and either humble ourselves or bear the humbling of men, we can count on the spirit of his exaltation, the spirit of glory and of God, to rest upon us. 1 Peter 4:14. The presence and the power of the glorified Christ will come to those who are of a humble spirit. When God can again have his rightful place in us, he will lift us up. Make his glory your main concern in humbling yourself. He will make your glory his concern in perfecting your humility and breathing into you, as your abiding life, the very spirit of his Son. As the all-pervading life of God possesses you, there will be nothing so natural and nothing so sweet as to be nothing, with not a thought or a wish for self, because all is occupied with him who fills all. Most gladly I will rather boast in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. 2 Corinthians 12:9. Fellow believers, do we not have here the reason why our consecration and our faith have availed so little in the pursuit of holiness? It was by self and its strength that the work was done under the name of faith. It was for self and its happiness that God was called in. It was unconsciously, but still truly, in self and its holiness that the soul rejoiced. We never knew that humility, absolute, abiding, Christ-like humility, pervading and marking our entire lives with God and man, was the most essential element of the life of the holiness we sought. It is only in the possession of God that I lose myself. In the height and breadth and glory of the sunshine, the littleness of a particle of dust is seen playing in the sunlight. In the same way, humility is our being, in God's presence, nothing but specks dwelling in the sunlight of his love. How great is God! How small am I! Lost, swallowed up in love's immensity. God only there, not I. May God teach us to believe that to be humble, to be nothing in his presence, is the highest attainment and the fullest blessing of the Christian life. He speaks to us, quote, I dwell in the high and holy place, with him who has a contrite and humble spirit, end quote. Isaiah 57:15. May this be our destiny. Oh, to be emptier, lowlier, mean, unnoticed, and unknown, and to God a vessel holier, filled with Christ and Christ alone.